Greetings, Earthlets. Continuing our interdimensional travels, GateKeeper and myself have found we're in somewhat of a doodly world. Very scribbly, wouldn't you say, GateKeeper?
Oh yes, mister. But wherever we are, at least there's always new comic book releases to look at.
You're quite right. So without further ado, we'll take it in turns with each publisher, shall we?
Okay, Doctor. Do you want to go first?
Indeed. So, from Artists, Writers and Artisans, Inc., we have ETERI. Intergalactic virus liquefying one of your heads. Feeling a bit off ever since you've drove through the black hole? Then visit the ETERI, the galaxy's leading medical facility. The interplanetary crew of doctors, nurses, paramedics and technicians is uniquely qualified to cure all that ails you. There's no planet too far, no asteroid too small, and no patient too, well, alien. And they accept most forms of insurance. This supersized debut special includes 2 stories of medical madness that are out of this world.
Okay, and now moving on to DC Comics. Up first, we have Arkham City, the Order of the World. The Joker's attack on Arkham Asylum left the long-standing Gotham establishment in ruin. Most of the patients killed or missing, and only a handful of surviving staff, a few nurses, a gravely injured security guard, and 1 doctor. In the chaos of the assault, it is believed that several of the asylum's patients escaped and scurried off into the dark nooks and crannies of Gotham City. Now these Arkhamites work among us. It's up to the asylum's one remaining doctor, Jocasta Joy, to round up her former patients. Meet the Arkhamites. A woman with no face, a piggy in search of perfection, a man who feels nothing and burns everything, a woman who must devour life to save herself, a man unfit for walking the world who lacks instead for Wonderland, a body with more than one soul, a being unbound from time who travels in the present and in the past, a boy who seeks comfort of vermin, and a twisted man who sees them all for who they are and witness the avenging angel who stalks them. This is going to be an odyssey through the deepest depths and darkest shadows of Gotham City and give you an all-new reason to fear the night. Oh, sounds very scary. Oh. But up next, we have Batman, the Imposter. Bruce Wayne's mission as the Batman has only been underway for a year or so, but he can tell he's making a difference. Unfortunately, he's made some powerful enemies. All the traditional power brokers of Gotham resent the disruption the Batman has brought to town, and it seems one of them has a plan to neutralize him. There's a second Batman haunting Gotham's rooftops and alleyways, and this one has no qualms about murdering criminals, live on tape. With the entire might of the Gotham City Police Department and Gotham's rich and powerful coming down on his head, Batman must find the imposter and somehow clear his name. But how can you prove your innocence from behind the mask? Moving along, DC Comics Horror presents Soul Plumber. From the creators of the last podcast on the left, exorcism just got a whole lot easier. After attending a seminar hosted in a hotel conference room by a mysterious group called the Soul Plumbers, Edgar Wiggins, disgraced former school student, discovers what he thinks is the secret to delivering souls from the thrall of Satan. But after stealing the blueprints and building the machine himself out of what he can afford from his salary as a gas station attendant, Edgar misses the demon and instead pulls out an interdimensional alien with dire consequences for all of mankind. Moving along from the spooky and the scary, we have Wonder Woman, the adventures of young Diana. The world may know her as Wonder Woman, but once upon a time she was Diana, the young princess. Back then, she struggled to find her place on the island deemed paradise by many, but which was, to her, a prison. Trapped in a role as a royal and shielded from the harsh realities of man's world, Diana yearned for adventure, or at least a purpose. So when ancient texts portraying her home histories go missing, she gets both. How far will our hero go to find the texts and the truth they're hiding? Find out in this exciting story that promises to be a classic for years to come.
Thank you, Gatekeeper. And now moving on to Dynamite, we have James Bond Himeros. Himeros is the Greek god of sexual desire and one of the winged gods of love. When Aphrodite was born, from the sea films, she was greeted by the twin lovers, Eros and Himeros. But when sexual desire goes too far, it takes the legendary super spy, James Bond, to bring justice to the most vulnerable amongst us as he investigates the suspicious death of an accused sex trafficker, one whose ties run deep and deadly. Gatekeeper, over to you.
Thanks, Doc. So from IDW Publishing, we have Star Trek, The Mirror War. Return to the mirror universe of the next generation with this brand new series, where familiar faces and exciting new surprises await around every corner. To conquer the mirror universe, Captain Picard must first seize control of the shipbuilding planet of Fondori. The only problem, Fondori is inside Klingon Cardassian Alliance territory. What will he do? Find out. Up next, we have Transformers Wreckers, Tread and Circuits. Out in the Cybertronian colonies, good entertainment is hard to find. Fortunately, there's always the Wreckers, brave Cybertronians broadcasting death-defying stunts and action, all as a cover for undercover operations. When the only event bigger than the all-new Wreckers broadcast, the Speedia 500, a race for governmental control of a whole world, is threatened, the Wreckers have a new mission. Save the most viewed race in the galaxy without getting caught. Wreck and rule.
And now, moving on to Marvel Comics. Up first, we have Black Panther Legends. Dive into the legend of the Black Panther in this new origin story. T'Challa and Hunter are brothers growing up in the idyllic royal palace of Wakanda. Theirs goes beyond the usual sibling rivalry though. Hunter, although older, is adopted, and T'Challa is the true heir to the throne. Both brothers wrestle with fairness and the future, readying themselves for responsibility when tragedy strikes and takes the choice from them. This new series, ideal for younger readers and loyal readers alike, will explore the moments that make T'Challa who he is. From his adventurous upbringing to his walkabout as a teen, where he met the enchanting Aurora Monroe before she becomes the legendary Storm, to when he first invites the Fantastic Four into Wakanda. Son, brother, warrior, king. As each chapter unfolds, new pieces of T'Challa's character will be revealed, and the Black Panther will emerge. Moving along, we have Darkhold Iron Man. Called forth to face the dread god Chathon, Iron Man readies himself for the ancient ill-fated text, the Darkhold, and it changes the course of his entire life. The armor that saved him countless times is about to become a prison, one whose only escape is a fate worse than death's. Prepare yourself for the body horror tale of the century. Moving along, we have Eternals Forever. Icarus, agent of the Deviants? The Deviants have captured Icarus. Now under their control, Icarus has been brainwashed into assassinating Ajax. It's up to Gilgamesh and Sprite to stop him and prevent an all-out war between the Eternals and the Deviants. Up next, we have Miss Marvel, Marvel Tales. Relive the first appearance of your new favourite superhero as we celebrate the legacy of the House of Ideas with Marvel Tales. This anthology series shines a spotlight on fan-favourite characters, featuring timeless stories and highlights some of Marvel's most impressive talent from the past 8 decades. Now, Kamala Khan claims the spotlight. And finally from Marvel this week, we have Star Wars: The High Republic, Trail of Shadows. Jedi Knight and Private Eye team up to uncover a mystery that will change the High Republic forever. The Jedi Master is dead. Another in a state of complete shock. It's a murder of which the Jedi Order have never seen before. There are no leads. There are no suspects. There is no motive. But Jedi investigator Emmerich Chaptor must solve the case before it's too late. The fate of the Jedi, the Hutts, the Nile, and everyone in the galaxy hangs in this tangled thread of lies and deceit. Emmerich will need to dive into the darkness, testing himself and his Jedi ideals like never before. He'll need help. Luckily, Private Eye Sheehan Holt lives in the dark. Together, they'll follow this trail of shadows wherever it leads. If they can work together, that is.
Okay, thanks, Doc. And now moving on to AniPress with their release of Rick and Morty, Mr. Nimbus. Straight out of the Rick and Morty Season 5 premiere comes Mr. Nimbus. The origin of Rick's mightiest foe are revealed in this very special issue of Rick and Morty Presents. Love, war, fish, and friendship undergo the battering sea of time and tide.
And now from Titan Comics, our final release of the week, Life is Strange, Settling Dust. Max finally believes that she has found a way to cross the timelines and return to the woman she loves, Chloe Price. Featuring the comic debut of fan-favourite characters Steph Gingrich and Victoria Chase from the original game. If you got the Life is Strange free comic book day issue, then you'll know that it leads straight into this brand new story arc, so it's perfect for fans of the comic and the game alike. Well, Earthlets, that was a massive list of new releases. I hope you were paying attention. I'll pass you over to GateKeeper with the usual information.
Don't forget to like the video and to subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all forms of social media. You can keep up to date with all the latest geeky goodies at your gateway to the multiverse, Wakefield Comics-616, at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
So, Earthlets, until next time, from this very scribbly doodly world,